to the beginning, only about 10 minutes left. Let's talk about the Strikers again. When does it start? When will you have a full team? I mean, you can't start till you have a full team.
No, we'll have a full team, but our tryout's going to be September 24th. We don't have the time or the place yet, but we know that Saturday will be the first tryout. Like I said, I'm already signing players that have played at the high level, played at college or semi-pro or pro. So those hopefully more men now because they're still asleep. I know the women are more excited and they've been reaching out. But we'll have a team, and the season's supposed to start mid-December. That's the ideal target. And the Yuengling Center by USF. So yeah, no, we'll have a team. I already have an assistant coach that I coach at the youth level with. He played professional keeper and has all his license stuff. So he's going to help me on the men's side. I'm looking for an assistant to help on the women. We're all going to work together. Sure. I think we already have a keeper trainer that may step in and help with the keepers.
How difficult is it, or will it be, when you're putting the team together? Is it the talent of the player, or is it the position that you want to fill?
But that's a good question. I mean, we have we can roster 20 players, 12 dress, and only 5 field players and a keeper. So it's not like 11v11 where you may have some needs, because now if you attack, you also have to defend here. It's kind of like basketball, or hockey, where you can't just say, I'm a forward, I'm going to sit up there and not do anything and just wait for the ball and try to score goals. You're going to have to come back and defend. So at the end of the day, these players will pretty much, every player will attack and defend. So probably the best player for indoor soccer will be like the midfielders, because they do both. But you also need to have a solid defender there so they don't get through. So it'll be challenging, but it'll be fun.
With it being indoor, obviously much smaller, than a regular soccer field, obviously, will there be plays, or is it just literally go and score?
I mean, we'll work on stuff, but I've never been a big X's and O type of guy, especially in soccer, because once the ball rolls, the ball, they could say you could set your figures nicely. As soon as the ball rolls, everybody goes where. But I like to have my players be creative. I don't like to micromanage what they do on the field. We'll show them. Look, it's mainly protect the defense where you work on the most, how to defend or how to have a proper formation as far as defending. Attacking, attacking, just go. I mean, it's 5v5, so just be creative. You're going to take people one-on-one. The one thing that we're going to have a challenge with is using the wall as a teammate, because this is not like futsal back in our countries. There's a line, so there's no wall. Here there's a wall, so you can use the wall as a teammate. So we don't have an indoor facility with a wall to practice it, so we're going to try to figure out a way to be creative where we can do that, because that's an asset, to know how to use the wall to go around a player. So that's, I think, where we're going to have a little bit of a disadvantage, but we'll figure it out.
Before I ask a couple Bucks questions, since we start in 10 days, World Cup thoughts?
I'm excited for Argentina. Messi took that monkey off his back, winning the Copa America. So, and the team is not obviously always depend on Messi because he's the best in the world, but it used to be so obvious that just give the ball to Messi and let's see what he can do. Now you have role players, and Messi has dropped back a little bit to be more of an assist guy, not that goal scorer all the time. So I'm excited, man. They look good. Argentina looks good.
How about other teams like, the U.S.?
My fear is, you're in CONCACAF. We had a really good qualifiers. We've beaten Mexico the last 3 times, which is huge because that's our biggest opponent locally. But we are facing some tough competition. England's going to be a tough opponent, but there's a lot more kids playing in Europe, so they understand the level and they understand the pressure of playing international soccer. It's a big stage.
That's the biggest.
Right, you can't duplicate that.
No.
in small leagues.
Yeah, you can't, man. It's I'm curious about your thoughts of, Messi's talked about even going to the MLS now. A lot of, older players, they want to come, obviously get a big payday and come and play in MLS. Like, what are your thoughts on that happening? I think it's good for the sport. I think since it started happening, I feel like Beckham was the first big one to make that transition. I feel like it's kind of helping kids now see, like, when they see Zlatan come and play here and Nani and all those guys, it helps the guys around here be like, hey, like, these stars are coming here. I can go do this, and I can go be like Pulisic and the rest of those guys that are having so much success now.
Oh, yeah. I feel like that's Messi's always said that he wanted his family to live in the United States, and he's experienced it, so there's a pretty high possibility. The thing that we're seeing a lot younger superstars come, because it used to be back in the day, like Valderrama came when he was pretty much done, but then he said, let me extend my career a couple more years, and he was still at a level above everybody else. Now Higuain, who played on the national team for Argentina forever, he said, man, I thought I was going to be able to smoke a cigarette and just walk all over these guys, and it's not. You know, our league is very competitive. Why? Because we have good athletes.
Yeah.
So it may not be as technical as European leagues, but athletically it's not easy because defenders especially are big, strong, and fast. So it's going to be tough for anybody to come to MLS and still perform at a high level, especially the older you get, because we have a very good competitive league. We already match, if not surpass, Mexico in club.
Yeah.
We have already beaten them the last 3 times on the national team stage, but now in club, the MLS clubs compete at the level of the Mexican league, and the Mexican league's been there forever.
How do you think the U.S. grows its fan base? Because that's a big deal. If you go to Brazil, you go to Argentina, it could be clubs you've never heard of, and you go there and those games are packed out, and it's an experience, and it's a lot of fun. How does the U.S. bring that here to get fans to want to come in and enjoy the sport the way the players now do?
Right. I think it's generation, you know, because now you're seeing more kids back then that played now bringing their kids to the game.
Yeah.
Before, when I played, 99% of the parents had never played soccer.
Yeah.
So they were just there because their kids wanted to play soccer. So they didn't even take them to games. They didn't watch games on TV. Now my generation has kids, so we'll take them to the game.
Yeah.
We'll watch soccer. And I think what the MLS did a great job of building specific soccer-specific stadiums.
Yeah.
Where if you go to Orlando City, you feel like a European game.
Yeah.
You walk in the streets, you know, you have the food and the chants and the fans. So the excitement is there because they're creating a soccer atmosphere, not going to Raymond James and putting, you know, 20,000 people, or it looks like there's 5.
Yeah.
Now there's no atmosphere, you know.
Yeah, I went to one in Austin. My brother lives out there, and they have a pretty good team out there. It's exciting. The game was a lot of fun. I was surprised. Like,
Go to an
surprised.
Orlando-Atlanta game.
Okay, I'll do that.
Orlando-Atlanta's ugly.
I went to an Atlanta game in Atlanta because my buddy was the assistant coach there, and that's when they don't open it full all the time. That was when they broke the record. I think it was like 87,000 fans.
Wow.
It was insane.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
They seal off the Atlanta fans in Orlando, and there's guards. It's kind of like Europe.
Yeah.
To keep, because the Atlanta fans are that bad.
Yeah.
And they think they are European fans, and they fight. And
That's awesome, man.
the first game, they were ripping the chairs out because it was like the first game in that stadium, so they're taking the chairs home. All right, I know we only have about 2 minutes